So this is Judge Roberto Silva. This is Judge Roberto Silva out of Pueblo. And this guy, he had filed, there was an emergency restraining order that was filed against the guy that's going to eventually kill Renee Dominguez. Renee Francisca Dominguez was killed by 59-year-old Jerome Bustos. 59-year-old Jerome Bustos. He's the one that shot at her as he was running into the dollar store, shooting at her, killing her, and then he was found in Colorado Springs. He had killed himself. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this guy out is because she had done everything right. She believed in the criminal justice system. She filed the restraining order. They said the police did everything right. The police did everything right. She did everything right. But Jerome Bustos just kept on breaking the restraining order, right? It's just a piece of paper. You got to have somebody that actually gives a damn. So she had a boyfriend, right? November 9th, filed this protection order. He goes to jail, and she had physical abuse. So there's just, they got into an argument, and she went into a fetal position, and he just kept punching her with a closed fist. And they, called the police, took pictures. She was scared of what was going to happen when he gets out. Well, when he got out, he kept fucking around. He didn't give a shit about Roberto Silva's order. Roberto Silva, he put a restraining order on me? You think that's going to stop? So on November 11th, she found a note from him on her car. On the 12th, she received numerous text messages. On the 13th, he was parked at a gas station across from her work, waiting for her. This is domestic violence turned into stalking. And then she never went back to work. In this other article, it said that she was getting rides from her coworkers, driving in different cars, going back and forth. That's how she had to go. That's how Renee Francisca had to live her life. She called the police, and they said that, her friends on this article says that the police did everything right. It was the judicial system that failed her. It's Judge Roberto Silva who failed her, Pluskett said. Calls to County Judge Roberto Silva's office hadn't been returned. But there had been an enlargement of time. There's been a continuance after a continuance after a continuance. And then the temporary protection order was vacated on December 22nd. He had a temporary protection order on him for an entire month. And then they took him off, and they're trying to push for a permanent restraining order. How did he get the protection order taken off when he violated the protection order over and over and over again? She broke down in court several times. She's crying in court. She's deathly afraid of her ex-boyfriend, and he literally assassinated her, Pluskett said. Those closest to Renee are confused as to why the continuances were repeatedly filed in court with little action done over repeated claims of physical, emotional abuse and stalking and violations of the restraining order. For weeks, she'd been telling us, I'm going to die, he's going to kill me. Bustos was found dead by suspected suicide. And then they also said they think he looks like this and looks like that when the thing first happened. They know everything about the guy. They got his fingerprints in his picture. They got his address. They got every piece of information about the guy. But when the murder took place, did they tell us immediately? They didn't tell us immediately. So that's the friends of Renee Francisca Dominguez think that this is the guy that is responsible. She said somebody was after her. She said there's a criminal piece of shit. Where the hell? We spend millions of dollars on the criminal. We got prosecutors and judges and cops and jails. Oh my. But you couldn't stop Jerome Bustos from stalking and abusing, and then ultimately, what's the point of the damn judicial system? If you go into court, I bet you he would, if you say something disrespectful, hey, Judge, do your damn job. Hey, Roberto Silva, do your damn job. Do I get in trouble for telling him to do his damn job? Mr. Big Time with lawful people. Mr. Big Time with lawful people. Here's a video.
We begin with developing news at 5 on the violent death of Renee Dominguez, who was gunned down Friday night at a Dollar General store in Pueblo.
Tonight, those closest to her say she cried out for help days before she was murdered, afraid of her ex-boyfriend. KRDO News Channel 13's Sean Rice is live at the Dollar General on the east side. Sean.
Yeah, Bart Heather, a memorial is still very much visible for the Pueblo woman beloved by all she worked with. Her friends tell me she feared for her life, going as far as attempting to check into a safe house a day before her murder. Renee Dominguez had a special phrase of affirmation with her 6 closest friends.
Love you, I got you, boo.
A special bond between women who admit Renee had her spirited moments in adjustment for some.
Once you got used to her and got to know her, you loved her, and there was no going back. There was no turning back. It's like, Renee, once we love you, that's it. It's just over, It's over, you're ours.
But last Friday, Renee was shot and killed, allegedly at the hands of her ex-boyfriend, 59-year-old Jerome Bustos.
But I knew right away as soon as I saw that post on Facebook that it was her, just because of how frightened she was and what she told us.
For weeks, she's been telling us all, I'm going to die, he's going to kill me. I could feel it. We'd be driving her home, we'd be outside from the clinic, and be like, he's here, he's somewhere, we could feel him.
According to court records, Dominguez filed a permanent restraining order against her ex-boyfriend in early November. Then, 2 days later, she filed for a civil protection order. In the 6-page protection order, she stated she went into a fetal position during an argument. She stated he then started wailing on me with a closed fist. After the police arrived and took a report, she said she was scared and worried about what he was going to do after he returned from jail.
She's gone through the court system, and they keep delaying it every 2 weeks, pushing it out. And in our mind, domestic violence is one thing, but when you're choking someone, that's attempted murder.
Calls to the office of County Judge Roberto Silva have gone unanswered. The changes these women seek surely will not.
They need to have, okay, this is serious. He is really after her and harassing her. This is more important than just catching him breaking the restraining order.
Renee will always be remembered for her daily breakfast of Red Bull, tahini, and blue Sour Patch candies. And one day, Renee's closest friends long for the day they too will see her again.
Her thing was always, I got you, boo, I got you, boo, and we just want to let everybody know that she did not die in vain, and we got you now, boo.
We never know the true answers in this case, Jerome.
So, Jerome Bustos, right? He's running around. Nobody knows who he is. The media and the damn police aren't letting us know. Well, here's the picture of the guy. Well, look at him. He looks like a mean motherfucker. Roberto Silva, they're scared of him. The police and the prosecutors are scared of this guy. They'd rather just pick on, good lawful people. This guy didn't give a damn what you filed this and that. You arrested him. He didn't give a damn. He didn't give a damn. Renee Dominguez was going to love him, or nobody was going to. That was it. In a way, I guess we all let her down. She was going through some shit, but you kept doing what you were doing yesterday. Kept doing that same old routine. You can't change your routine. You need to let Jerome Bustos do what he's going to do. This clearly could have been prevented. I mean, he's breaking the restraining order over and over. How the hell could the restraining order be vacated? How could it be vacated? Incredible. 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 You got pieces of shit that go out in the world and sadistically hurt other people. They love hurting other people. And they keep on doing it. They're domestic violence, stalking. You can tell that, the progression of events. This person is going to do some damage. This person is dangerous. And frankly, if we all gave a shit, We can put it on Roberto Silva. I think that's fair. The criminal justice system did fail her. She reported it, and it probably did make him more mad, or maybe it didn't. Who knows? What it didn't do is it didn't save her life. What it didn't do is it didn't protect and serve, right? Isn't that the whole point of the police, is to protect us? We have a right to life. We got a right to live and liberty in the pursuit of happiness, but a right to life, a right to not have people shooting. So it's bullshit that, a cop will pull you over, expect you to obey the law if you're, say, speeding a mile or two over the speed limit, but then you got a Jerome Bustos run around the goddamn neighborhood shooting and, just basically being a goddamn fucking psycho, piece of shit criminal motherfucker. Just an absolute dirtbag. And so as a society, the people at work and the people at our home, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Well, you needed a police officer. If he's doing this day in and day out, all you had to have is a police officer with her that day. So in a way, they're not blaming the police, but I mean, they're supposed to protect and serve, so they could have been right there, right at the workplace. Hey, he's sitting in a car right there. Just, probably been with her for an hour. They've seen the text messages. You're breaking the restraining order. You're not allowed to do this. And then that means the police can arrest him. So the police failed her too.
Yeah, following up on a brutal murder on Friday night in Pueblo, which police say is another domestic violence-related crime. 38-year-old Renee Dominguez was shot to death inside a Dollar General store. Tonight, her friends say the legal system failed to protect her when she was alive. News 5's Natalie Chuck sat down with him tonight while they continue mourning her death. She is joining us live tonight. Natalie.
Diane, we were outside of the Dollar General where Dominguez was murdered, and out here in front of the front door, you can see a memorial is still growing here to remember her, but her coworkers believe that her life could have been spared if a judge had listened to her when Dominguez first filed for a permanent restraining order against her ex-boyfriend.
She has said for the last month at least, I'm gonna die. He's gonna kill me.
The bullet hole and boarded up door at Dollar General, a stark reminder that Renee Dominguez had good reason to fear for her life.
I text her and I said, Renee, where are you? You need to call me. And she didn't answer. So then I tried to call her. She didn't answer. And then got on Facebook and saw the report. I knew instantly it was her. She would not answer me.
Dominguez was shot and killed inside Dollar General. Pueblo police say the prime suspect later committed suicide in El Paso County. The suspect her friends and family believe was her ex-boyfriend, who they say had been terrorizing Dominguez. His name has not been confirmed by police yet.
She took off her clothes and showed me her body, and it was bruised, and I said, you can't, this is not normal, you can't let him do this, and that's when we begged her to get the restraining order.
But court documents show her ex-boyfriend violated protection orders multiple times. Dominguez had also filed for a permanent restraining order, which had been postponed by Judge Roberto Silva multiple times. Their next hearing was scheduled for February 7th.
I just really want everybody to know that we vote our judges in, and Judge Silva needs to be voted out.
Dominguez, a registered medical assistant, worked for the same clinic as Nicole Stevenson, who died in 2020 after she was beaten by her ex-boyfriend, sparking protests across Pueblo.
They should be able to say, hey, this one's serious. This one is really threatening her. We need to do more.
Dominguez leaves behind a son and mother.
I personally feel a relief for him being gone, just because the way the system is. Her mom and her son are not going to have to endure the courts.
And a group of women longing for change.
That girl was the light. She was the light in the room.
We need help, and we just want answers.
I called Judge Silva's office multiple times to see.
So Roberto Silva's not going to respond. Roberto Silva, they said they could just vote him out. Yeah, they are kind of elected, but they're retention elections, and that's after they've been appointed by the governor. So the governor will appoint the judge, and then they'll serve a term, or they'll finish serving some other judge's term. And then there will be a retention election where you say, do you want Roberto Silva or no? And so it feels like you're saying, do you want a judge or no judge? But it's, do you want to retain? He doesn't run against anybody. The judge retention elections are bullshit here in Colorado. They're absolute bullshit. Do you want a judge or not, huh? Well, what, Roberto Silva? We don't need a Roberto Silva kind of judge. That's not the kind of judge we need. We need somebody that gives a damn about the truth, that gives a damn about justice, without justice, you don't have peace. You got these criminal pieces of shit that are running, roughshod over the lawful people. She had a job. She was doing her thing. But, he was going to make her love her whether she wanted to love him or not. And if she wasn't going to love him, then he wasn't going to let anybody love her. And so it's clear. It's a possessive thing. That's not love. You think you own a person. You think you own them. That's not love. That's not love. If you love a bird, you let it go. You don't keep it in a box in a corner. So RIP to Renee Dominguez. She didn't deserve this. And then when the shit was hitting the fan and shit got really tough, she was telling people and they were helping her out, driving her here and there, but essentially everybody was running around Jerome Bustos instead of just saying, okay, I'll stay by your side. And if he, comes up on us, we're going to have words. We're going to see what's going on with this guy. And he was, dangerous too. So it's just incredible that the police will go after lawful people for some dumb petty thing. But when you got a major motherfucking criminal fuck who's just doing criminal shit over and over and over again, where are the police at? Where are the police at? Where was the judicial system? All that millions and millions of dollars, plus the fees, right? When they take they'll take your money, right? For this and that. So you pay taxes, you pay millions of dollars in taxes, and then they get fees on top of it. And we're not seeing peace. We're seeing a rise in crime. What's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? We're supposed to trust these people? Renee Francisca Dominguez did not deserve to die. She didn't deserve to get killed. And, shame on everybody that knew about the thing and could have done more. Especially the cops in the judicial system. Especially that Roberto Silva. If you can vote him out, you can do that. But I think you're going to have to think of a different political solution. Because I don't think that's likely. It's every 6 years, too. Every 6 years there's a retention election. So who knows when he's up for re-election? Maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe next year. And it's shit like this. This is why you see the rise in gangs. Why go to the court system for anything? They're not going to do shit for you. They'll fuck you over, but they won't do anything for you. But if she was a part of a gang, she was part of the mafia, she was part of the Sopranos, then she would have just been like, hey, Uncle June, I got this problem. June would say, no problem, I'll take care of it. That's why you have gang problems. Because the police are impotent and ineffective. And the judicial system, it's a big $1 million rocket docket slaughterhouse. The big total, it's a meat grinder. It's a wasteland. It's pointless. It makes the middle class and the wealthy feel like something's going on because a lot of poor and powerless people get screwed over by the damn system. But if you're asking me if I want criminals in my neighborhood or poor and powerless people, give me all the poor and powerless people out there. Give me all the poor and powerless. Give me your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And fuck these motherfucking criminal motherfuckers. Go get a job, motherfucker. Go get some therapy. Take some breathing fucking seminars. There's some people